Test. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is band night, which features the full roster of band students from 6th to 12th grade. We do apologize for our little technical difficulty. That was the 6th grade band. They had just played the Ballard Cheer and the Hay Song. Up next, we have the 7th grade band. They're going to play Wipeout, and when the 7th grade band is done, you will hear the 8th grade band performing Shut Up and Dance. Ladies and gentlemen, have a nice big hand for our 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade bands. Thank you all. Once again, a reminder to our fans, Ballard Coronas having the 50-50 raffle tonight. All proceeds are supporting the Ballard 6th through 12th grade bands. 50-50 raffles, please get your tickets east of the concession stand. You will also notice over there the greatest #1 student council in Iowa. We're selling fresh baked cookies tonight. Please help support the Ballard Student Council with fresh baked cookies and bars. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that everyone please rise or remove your headgear as we honor our flag and our country. Presentation of our nation's colors being presented by Slater American Legion Post number 260 coming from the south end zone. And remain standing as we honor every American, especially those brave Americans in the U.S. Southeast battling two hurricanes, as we present our national anthem presented by the Ballard High School Marching Band. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to Ballard High School in Bomber Stadium, Rich Strauss Field for tonight's Class 4A district matchup between the ADM Tigers, home team, your Ballard Bombers. Here is the starting offense from your guest from ADM. Left tackle number 74, Zach Heights. Left guard 56, Ballard. Center 55, Rhett Boston. The right guard will be number 65, Kale Murray. Right tackle number 53, Caleb Oberhofer. Quarterback number 2, Hudson Shaw. Running back number 33, Taylor Harvey. Back number 23,
I saw it.
Jensen. K-back number 10, Taylor Kinney. Z-back number 1, Wyatt Schweiger.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Huxley, Iowa, the site of tonight's Class 4A football matchup between the Ballard Bombers and the ADM Tigers. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Brock Bierman, alongside, as always, with my partner, Tim Davis. And it's a beautiful night for football and a great opportunity for the Ballard Bombers to get back in the win column after a tough week at North Polk last week.
Absolutely, Brock. You said both those things just exactly right. It is a beautiful evening. It was warm this afternoon, been warm all week out here. Haven't seen a raindrop in what seems like half a year, but it's been a long time. But it's cooled off tonight. There's a breeze out here tonight, so the wind could play an effect as far as field position and what we were trying to do on the offensive side of the ball. But, and you said it good, an opportunity for the Bombers. And I don't know if we've got the graphic up yet. We'll get it here some set. But we do have, if you're looking at the screen now, folks, we're historically known for sunset pictures from Danny Sunsets, the executive producer. We didn't have one tonight, so this was one that was taken up in off of a lake up in Minnesota with some of those senior dads up there. That's Rob Mudd and
that's amazing.
Doug Schonhorst up there putting a little heart around that sunset, speaking to Danny's heart. So we thought we'd put that up tonight since we couldn't get one. The sun went down before we came on the air, so we're still marketing the sunsets around here on the Ballard Network, if you will. But back to the game. This ADM team comes in, I believe they're 4th in the RPI rankings right now.
Yep.
So
number 4, Ballard's 13.
Yeah, Ballard's 13, and that North Polk team we saw last week has come in at number 1, and that Pella team we saw in week 1 I think is number 3. So we've been up against it. This is nothing new for the Bombers. As if you look on the screen there, folks, you can see how the districts align. I believe the ones in green are automatic seeds, and the ones in yellow are wild cards. And if you look at our district down there, we've got 2 guarantees and then 2 more wild cards. So we play in a tough district. That Indianola team, I think, is 8 or 9 right now, ranked in the RPI. So everything is in front of us right now, Brock. And we talked about it in a text message earlier today, and there may have been some words we can't say on the air, but our playoffs start today.
Yes.
We got to win tonight. We got to win next week and win the 3rd week, and then we're in for sure. We're guaranteed in and maybe even get a host. But if somehow we stumble along the way, we're going to sweat it out like we did last year at 5-4. And we would just as soon not do that if you're a Bomber fan.
For sure. Last week, of course, the Bombers dropped the ball at North Polk. I think the final score was 29-7.
Yeah.
And, you know, like the great lyricist Freddie Durst once said, it was just one of those days.
It was one of those days. He's referencing Limp Bizkit before the game starts, folks.
And just nothing was working for the Bombers.
Yeah.
You were at the game, so you probably got a better look than me, who was at home watching it on the broadcast. What did you see that may have worked? What didn't work? What can the Bombers fix to get back in the win column tonight?
North Polk got the ball to start the game, and it was absolutely – I think they had an 8-minute and 40-second drive to start the game. And anytime you bleed that much clock, and it was heavy on the QB run game, and if I got anything worth of salt, I believe we're going to see a lot of the same thing out of ADM tonight. So what can we do to rectify it? I think there's some tricks up. I don't want to say tricks, but there's some adjustments up the sleeves of our defensive staff. And I think on the offensive side, it was 15-0 at halftime, and one of them was a scoop and score on a turnover. We came out and scored the first possession of the second half against North Polk. It was 15-8. We were in it, and then they just methodically beat on us. And I think if you were to talk to the coaches, hey, we just got beat. We got beat and we got out-coached. And I talked to some of the coaches and said, hey, that happens. On to the next one, because it doesn't get any easier for the Bombers here tonight. So what I look for tonight from the Bombers is some adjustments. And we've talked about it on every broadcast we've had. This is the 4th one this year. But we've got to stay ahead of the chains and get into that 2nd and short stuff. We don't want to be 2nd and 9 and 3rd and 7. That's not conducive for winning football for us. And the line of scrimmage, I think we might see a little bit of difference on the defensive front here tonight, a little different personnel to try to neutralize their QB run game. I don't know if they're as physical as North Polk was up front, but we're going to see something very similar. And Doug Winkowitz came from West Delaware, older guy. He moved over here to ADM because he's got family over here, but he was the head coach at West Delaware up there in Manchester for 20-plus years, won a boatload of games. So the guy knows how to build a program. The guy's been around a long time in football, and their only loss is to Lewis Central, and it was in overtime. So this ADM team is as good. I don't want to say maybe as good as last year because they lost 2 dudes that are playing Division I football. Florida just scored a couple weeks ago for Iowa State. Dahl's on the roster over there at Iowa, and they lost the Loman kids. So they lost some dudes, but they got culture at ADM, and right now, tonight, this is a must-win game for Ballard. I don't know how else to put it other than it's a must-win game for the Bombers.
For sure, and when you look at the series history between these two teams, since 2008, it is 5-5, straight down the middle, and no team has won 2 games in a row in the series except for 2009, 2010 for the Ballard Bombers. ADM won by 7 points last year. 20-13 was the final score.
Yep.
So you know you're setting up for a great football matchup no matter when these two teams are matching up.
Yeah, you're in for an old-fashioned dogfight. And I would say outside of the North Polk rivalry, I would say ADM is right there for us as far as across the board in all the sports. I mean, we've got Bondurant, Farrar. Obviously, everybody in the Raccoon River Conference is really good. It's one of the top conferences, if not the top, in 3A, 4A. But I just think that they're on the same. They're on par with us, and they're growing exponentially. We were over there last night for an 8th grade volleyball game, and we left that gym, Brock. And this is kudos to the ADM folks, but we left that gym at 5:15, 5:20. There was 25 middle school boys up there working out in the weight room, on the track, outside of the gym, pushing the sled. Like, they know how to build a culture, and they're coming in. But we've got a really good group of seniors, and I think the message this week to them was, we just talked about it, is it's playoff week. It is playoffs. It is you must win or go home type of thing. And if we can play with that edge, I like our chances because I love our dudes, and you know that. When we were here 2 weeks ago, we saw one of the best finishes we've ever seen, you've ever seen.
Yep.
You've been doing it longer than I have, but we've got it in us, and I think our schedule has been pretty tough by any stretch of the imagination. That Humboldt team is 2A in the or is number 2 in the 3A RPI rankings. So you look at that with the other teams we played, we're battle tested. Now we just got to get a win, and being home tonight is a huge help for us. And we apologize, folks, if you can hear the wind. We are up on top of the crow's nest here, so we are in the elements right now. So we apologize for the wind in the background, but we'll do our best. It's fixing to be a heck of a football game.
For sure. It looks like the Bombers are going to receive here to start off the game, and ADM's going to kick off. Again, it's both teams as of right now, if the playoffs started today, would be in it. Ballard would be a wild card team, and obviously ADM number 4 in the rankings. So it's going to be a good one. Could be a preview to what the future brings for both teams as we get closer and closer to postseason time. Both teams, the more wins you can rack up, the better chance you have to go far in the playoffs, obviously. And so the mindset for both teams, especially on the Bombers side, got to start 1-0.
Yep, got to start 1-0. And just so you know, folks, it is, so on your radio dial, it's right to left as the Bombers are going into the wind here, I feel like a little bit. It's kind of a northwest wind, so they'll be on offense into the wind here to start the first quarter.
So the Tigers will kick off into the end zone, so that will be a touchback, and the Bomber offense will come out, led by senior quarterback Mason Gatchell, who has improved a lot over the past year and a half. And again, we're talking out as the season's getting closer to being over. Obviously, season ends at some point. When you're a senior quarterback, you want as many games as possible. This is a great opportunity for the senior quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. I talked to Mason a little bit last night, and just tell you a little bit about Mason as we get going here. He was at the youth football practice last night, helping the coaches. He was there. A bunch of kids took pictures with him after practice. It was their last practice of the year, and he just said, hey, could be our last game on this field. Got to leave it all out there, so we'll see what happens tonight.
On the first play, it'll be a play-action pass to the tight end. Just overthrew Jackson Waka, and that will fall incomplete.
Yeah, Mason floated that one as Waka was wide open in the flat. He had a lot of green in front of him. Mason wants that one back for sure, but like the play call to try to give him something simple early and get ahead of those chains. But here we are at 2nd and 10, and not ideal as we talked about in the pregame.
Gatchell's completing just under 58% on the year. Looking to hopefully continue that, as well as see if the Bombers can get a ground game going here, as they will throw here on second down to Gibson. Gibson is able to fight off a couple defenders and gain some yards to make it 3rd and short.
And tackle there was Braden Reinerson on the tackle there for the Tigers. Good little wiggle there from Jude to get out of that first one, but that's 2 straight pass plays, and now we get into 3rd and short, so we like it, but pretty good catch there from Gibson. Jude was kind of disappeared on us for a couple weeks. He had 2 really good weeks, and then a couple weeks he wasn't. But I talked to the coaches, and they said he's been in it all week, man. He's been right there. So I look for big things, and that's a great catch to start from Jude. So
they'll give it to Hedrick on 3rd down. He dives, and it looks like he's got enough for the first down for the Ballard Bombers. A gain of 4.
But looks like number 6, Jackson Pitson. We got a couple of spotters up here, Steve DeHamino and Brandon Brown. We appreciate these guys, but it's getting darker. It's a little windier, so we're all working together up here in the elements. But first down, that's a nice first down for the Bombers. And you know, Brock, that the Bombers are probably a little tighter than ADM. I would say ADM's probably punched their ticket just about where they want to play, but the Bombers, they got work to do, right? So just play fundamental football here, fellas, and I think it's all good things going to happen.
Gatchell on the option. He keeps it, able to get maybe a yard on first down, so he'll bring up 2nd and 9.
That was Wyatt Schweiger on the tackle there for ADM, number 1. So looked like a bigger gain than that, but it was only good for 1. It was just QB run game could be heavy on both sides tonight. We know that Hudson Scholl and ADM is going to try to run it a lot with the quarterback there, but the game plan is maybe to get Mason involved in the run game a little bit more this week, and not so much RPO but designated run game, so we'll see what happens.
So 2nd down and 9. They'll hand it off to Vitzum, looking to find a little hole, able to push his way forward for about a gain of 3, maybe actually 4. It'll bring up 3rd down.
It was Ethan Ashe on the play there. Ashe or Ashe, and if you're watching at home at ADM and we get a name mixed up, go ahead and put it on the chat so we can at least get you right. Not intentional, but we're just trying to learn the names like everybody else. 3rd and about 6 here is how we got 3rd and 5, a long 5.
Opening drive for the Bombers. Gatchell will roll out to the right side, looking to throw. Will toss it. Sidness catches it. We'll see where forward progress was.
Yeah, he's going to be just short of it, I think. I think Sidness caught it and then came back to the ball, so it's going to be 4th and short here for the Bombers, and we'd be punting into the wind. It was Talon Harvey on the tackle for ADM, number 33, I believe. So looks like we're going to go with heavy here, and the Bombers are going to go for it. Look for a snap count. If you're ADM, you got to hold your water. And if you're the Bombers, stay set, see what happens.
Gatchell's running out there. There's only 10 seconds on the play clock.
Got to hurry now. Now your snap count is a moot point at this point.
4 seconds. They'll take it, so they'll hand it off to Vitzum. He's able to get the first down as he spins forward for extra yardage. Gain of 4 on 4th down for Vitzum.
Tackle on that looked like number 79. Maybe actually it was Grant Engelman was the first one in there. 28 Engelman on that tackle, but a 4th down conversion. So now we've seen a 3rd down conversion. We've seen a 4th down conversion. We've seen multiple pass plays early in downs. The Bomber offense is being aggressive right now, Brock, and I love to see it because guess what, man? There's 2 ways you can look at it. You can play scared or you can play with house money. If you're playing with house money, it's a big deal. You got no fear. That's like them old shirts in 1990s that Danny used to wear, the old no fear shirts.
Gatchell on the keeper, runs to the left side, collides with a defender as he picks up a gain of about 5 yards.
It's Reinerson on the tackle again for the Tigers.
Officially gain of 4 brings up 2nd down and 6.
A little option action there, and Mason decided to keep it, had Vitzum on the outside, but we talked about house money. The guys out in the desert, I think they had the Tigers favored in this one tonight, so we'll see what happens. Nobody's really sure exactly what that means, and we don't know either, but that's just what we hear for them guys out there. So we'll see how it works out in the end, but this is a great opening drive here for the Bombers as we're almost 8 minutes on the clock.
Handoff to Gibson, looking to cut up. A flag is thrown as he's tackled a yard short of the first down line.
4 on that one, it looked like, but
see what the flag is.
Carver Sutton on the tackle there. Looks like it's in the realm of holding, in the vicinity of the holding area. I don't know who that was out there. If it could have been maybe shown. And we got so many single-digit guys out here. It's hard to know who it is. Yeah, it was on Dylan Schoen, the hold on the outside. That'll back us up. It's a spot foul, so it's 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
So I think we lost even more.
Yeah, well, he held just 1 yard past the line of scrimmage, so we lost 9, essentially, maybe. My math is correct. I'd have to go with the old spotter Steve Domino on that. He was talking earlier about how good his math skills are. So now we've got second in a long ways. It looks like second and 19-ish in there. ADM with that 4-man front. The middle of that defense is wide open with that wide open set, 5 wide, and they give it to the little sweep on Gibson.
He's able to gain a little bit, gain of 3 officially, but will set up a very long third down play. So the Bombers were rolling the first couple plays. Now a penalty brings them back, and now a third and about 15.
Yeah, 13 Leighton Gerlman on that tackle for them as we went with that empty set, brought him across the formation, and well scouted, right? If you're ADM and they go to that empty and you see Jude in motion, big tendency there as far as he's getting the ball. The Schonhorst comes way down here on the numbers as Sidness is here. So little 4-2 action. 2 on the roof here for ADM.
Gatchel will roll out to the right, still looking, fires it away. It was going to be a screen pass to Waka, but
a little tight end screen, but that was sniffed out from the start there from ADM. Just the timing wasn't there, and boy, that drive really fizzled on us, and penalty killed it. The holding penalty just hurt it. We went from 2nd and 5 to 2nd and almost 20. Took the wind out of the sails. Got to have a big punt here from Mason. Took almost 6 minutes off the clock, 5.5 minutes off that clock. Oh, and Mason's not what we want there.
As that ball will go out of bounds, we'll see where the officials spot it. Maybe a punt of 15 yards as it gets spot 16.
16 yards on the punt.
Spot around the 45-yard line.
Yep.
So not ideal for the Bomber defense, but you know this Bomber defense is always up for a challenge.
They are, and we've put a lot on their shoulders. And one of the things that we've seen this year, not only in the home games and the road games, is big plays. If we play bend don't break defense, we're really good. But we've given up some big shots this year. But as you can see, we're kind of in our regular front here. But we got a little 4-man front with walk out here, and that's QB run game with Scholl.
Going to see a lot of that gain of 3 from Scholl as he has well over 500 yards on the ground at the quarterback position. That's very impressive while also having over 800 yards passing.
Yeah, that was walk on the tackle. Get used to hearing that tonight, folks, as he leads all the 4A in tackles.
2nd down and 7. Scholl will hand it off this time over to the left side. A great cut from their running back.
Tucker Vincent was looking for a hold out there, didn't get it, but
gain of 3.
It was Luster on the tackle. As we're going to see Jacob Luster here, more of a kind of a nickel. He's kind of our nickel back, I guess you could say, not to reference Chad Kroger, a nickelback bear for you, as you referenced Fred Durst earlier. But Luster, we're looking at this 4-2-5 that the Bombers are kind of going to look at run here. Now we're 3rd and 4, so this is time to get off the field if you're Ballard.
3rd down and 4. Well, handoff and met quickly by the Bomber defensive line. A loss of maybe an inch.
That looked like it was maybe 67 in there on the tackle for the Bombers. Like Cole Burka was in there, the young sophomore. So 3 and out to start for the Bomber defense as ADM will punt with the wind. So if I'm Tucker Vitzum, I'm putting my feet on about the 8-yard line. If it goes over my head, we see what happens.
So after a 3-yard gain from Jonathan Hatchett on 2nd down, they gave it to him again on 3rd. And he was met quickly by the Bomber defense. So here comes the punt team. It is away to Vitzum. over to the right side. He lost the ball as it goes out of bounds.
Squirted just out of his hands there and out of bounds at about the 19, so we got a break.
Gain of 9 on the punt return.
Well, good defense to start the game for the Bombers. I'll tell you what, man, this is so far we're in for one tonight,
yep.
Brock. I feel like it's going to be this type of game, and whoever can make the least amount of mistakes is going to be there at the end.
I feel like it's just a matter of time before one of these offenses takes a shot downfield, because both of them have kind of relied heavily on the ground game so far. Second possession for the Bombers. Handoff to Hedrick over to the left side. He follows his blockers for a really good gain, honestly. Gain of 5 officially on first down.
That's Reinerson again on the tackle. That's his third of the game for the Tigers, so he's been everywhere tonight. But that was 52 out there on the lead block.
The center.
Yeah, that was the center, I believe.
Carter Sparks.
Yeah, that's Sparks out there, and he kind of Hedrick got on his hip, and Carter didn't have anybody to hit, but that's a nice first down gain. So again, now we're in kind of a, you get to make your choice as the offense. The defense isn't going to dictate to you what they want to do. Bunch set over here on the bottom side.
They'll fake the handoff. Gatchel will keep it, and he's met quickly. He did gain a yard, though, so third and manageable for the Bombers.
Grant Engelman on the tackle, 28 there. It's third and manageable for sure, but we whiffed on that block as it was straight up QB run game. We mentioned it just a little bit ago. That might be a little heavier today. However, I feel like with this front that we're seeing from ADM, this 4-man front, we're going to have to bring the passing game into play. And maybe it's a thing as we get into the second quarter and go with the wind a little bit, see what happens. But there's some spots to be had as Gatchel missed on the first one, and we've had some opportunities to catch the ball.
We'll fake the handoff to Hedrick, but pitches it over to Vitsum as he picks up the first down. And you see him hesitate a little bit as he picks up the first down and a gain of about 16 yards for the Bombers.
Reinerson again on the tackle for ADM as he's been everywhere. That's the 4th tackle of the game for him. But it looked like Vitsum was shot out of a cannon there down the sideline. Had a little wiggle in his hips. Kind of looked like Danny up there at Takeo Westmar back in the day when he was on the basketball floor. You ever hear that story about Danny when he got a recruiting trip from on a plane? It's a great story, Brock. You'll have to hear it at some point.
I'll definitely need to hear this.
Yes, you will. Bombers in the empty set now.
Gatchel will fake the pass and will keep it. Able to break a tackle. Gains probably 5 or 6 yards, officially 5. So he'll bring up second down.
Jackson Pitts in there on the tackle.
The Bomber offense, similar to the last drive, flowing the first couple plays. This is almost the exact same spot, though, where everything went wrong the last possession.
Brock, we don't talk about it. We're PVO here, positive vibes only, okay? Danny's scrubbing his head here. What little hair he's got left, he's going on the Brock Bierman hair plan, I believe. But empty set here with quads down here at the bottom side of the field.
Gatchel will keep it, and some
gets nothing.
Rough blocking as he's able to get back to the line.
Yeah, Dylan Becker there, 74, left a little bit to be desired, but the tackle was by Carver Sutton. You could say he carved us up on that one, old Carver did. That was too easy. I had to say that one, Brock. It's right there. It was right there on the plate.
I see what you
platter,
did there.
On the platter. We're talking. There you go. We're talking about. There we go. Folks, you never know what you're going to get here, but now I know what we're getting now. It's 3rd and a long 4 for the Bombers. And we got PK Miller down here on the bottom side, and they're going to
signal to him.
Yeah, he signaled to him, but
hand off to Vitsum, and he is met quickly. We'll lose 3 yards on 3rd down, so it will bring up the punt unit.
This one away. This is a defensive battle. It's Jackson Pitson again. Was right there. So another decent drive by the Bombers, but just can't get across midfield right now, Brock. It's one of those things to where it's harder than it looks, I guess.
We'll just ask Iowa.
Yeah, oh, boy, Bear. Big, good punt there from Gatchel.
And he's met quickly. The returner Reed was met by Vitsum.
Yeah, that was Vitsum right there
going down to a special shot of our.
We got the sideline guys.
Yes.
So the Booster Club did a little auction. So if you look down there by the net, it looks like that's Brady Ployer and Lane Lucart. They ended up winning that auction. That was donated. So that goes to basically the athletes of Ballard. That's a Ballard Booster Club thing. They ran it for about a week and a half, 10 days, to have the sideline experience. So kind of cool for those two little guys to be right down there in the action.
Looks like they're ready to get in.
They are. They got their uniforms on, man. They had a little deal last night where their moms got to get in and tackle them. So it was kind of fun. Ball was on the ground. It looked like Scholl's knee was down, so
loss of 5.
Yeah, we'll take that. That was in there. It looked like that might have been Anderson in there. Somebody was in there pretty quick, but
this is right around where the Bombers like to be.
Yeah, absolutely, because this is where field position comes into play, right? And so that punt from Gatchel was huge into that breeze. And now we've got him backed up, and now we're 2nd and long. But Scholl can throw it a little bit, as we're going to see here, as he mishandled
bobbles the
snap
ball.
Again.
Here comes the pressure. Able to get by Waka, but he's not able to get by the second defender. I think that's Vitsum.
That was Vitsum again. That's
another loss of
about 7 on the play. It looks like 7 or 8 on the play. A loss. That was Tucker Vitsum again. The Tigers are going the wrong way, and the Bombers and the full squadron are coming. Little shot down here, though. I like this as we see down here. I got Mason Gatchel and Lincoln Miller talking. So that's the right tackle and the quarterback saying, "Hey, what are we doing? What can we do, or what can't we do?" So.
And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. Scoreless, but honestly, it's been pretty entertaining so far.
Yeah,
It's a chess match at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. As we get into this, we got something here. I think Danny's got a picture or something. I don't know if he's got it up here, but folks, Brock took a new job, as we're aware of, a couple weeks ago, and it's with Iowa State, the extension office, marketing coordinator, right, Brock?
Yep.
Something like that.
All right, digital production specialist.
Digital production specialist. So Brock sent us a text on the Ballard Network group text. So it's myself, Dan Inksler, and Matt Pasha of Flight Bar and Grill. And Brock said, guys, he said, I don't know if my schedule is going to allow me to do this anymore. So tonight could be your last one. That's kind of what we're planning. You're always welcome, obviously. But, Brock, I cannot tell you how much you've meant to me, just within the network, but on a personal level, getting to know you, watching you grow as not only a broadcaster and behind the scenes, but as a human, and knowing what your dream is. And I still think it's out there. I think this job you're going to get is a stepping stone, but I think I speak on behalf of the entire Ballard Network Nation. Without you, we're not here. We're not possible. From the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of our hearts in Ballard Network and Ballard fans, we appreciate you, brother, and we love you. So,
man, it's only the first quarter.
I know,
you can't make me cry
but
now.
But if we can get a W for you here, then maybe we can get a playoff game,
yes,
and then we can post this on.
That would be great. I appreciate all the love and support you guys have given us over the years. As Scholl rolls out to the left side, throws it, able to complete it, brought down quickly, but that will be close to a first down. Maybe a yard or too short.
Boy, Jude Gibson just got him tackled there.
Gain of 19.
It was Reed there on the reception, I believe, and it's going to bring out the punt team, which, holy smokes, we were getting sentimental, and we almost messed up on third down. We had him sacked in the end zone, but we couldn't get him. But, hey, bend, don't break, right? Now they punt into the wind. We got a dangerous guy back here, and Vitsum's got 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns. He's had a whale of a game so far up to this point. Hold on to the football and give us good field position, and then I'll tell you what I think is going to happen after we get this one.
Just return this thing.
Look at it hang up there.
Vitsum bobbles it, and it will go out of bounds at the 50-yard line. That is one of the luckiest bounces you will ever see in football.
That was directly off his face mask.
Oh, my gosh.
Went through 2 or 3 ADM Tigers, and we've got a penalty marker on the field. So we're going to see there is laundry on the field. We'll see what it is, but whew.
I think I've felt every emotion in the last 5 minutes since you started that.
Yeah, the Bombers just dodged a bullet right there. Holy smokes.
See what the penalty is?
He is putting it back in his pocket, but we'll see what happened here.
Legal block in the back or something.
Our head referee's getting confirmation as to what we're discussing here. I'm not sure.
At the moment, it's the Bombers' ball. There is a penalty flag. The Bomber offense is moving back, so looks like it might be against them. The ball is getting moved back officially as well. So we're waiting for the official call.
It could be a block in the back here because it looks like it could be a 10-yard penalty, but if he's on the 50, it looks like a 9-yard penalty. I don't think that's real. Now he muffed the punt, so I don't know what. Maybe on the muff, and I'm not familiar with this rule, but I'm getting it from Mr. Domino, Mr. Brown. Okay.
So the Bombers will take it over at the 40 instead of the 50.
Yep. Very good explanation there from the official, because we're a little confused as far as muffing the punt. Can you muff it forward? And muffing it is fumbling it, I guess not catching it. So that is what the terminology is there, folks, if you're not familiar with that. But
so far it's just kind of little jabs by both offenses. No huge swings yet, as we're still scoreless here early in the second quarter.
We got press coverage down here on PK Miller. If he can get off the line of scrimmage, there's nobody on the roof. As the number one, he bails. The corner bails on him.
And a quick pass trying to get it to Waka goes right through his hands.
It's sitting us down the sideline, but it was a quick little look out there. But that's Mason against his body again on the roll out there. So he's going against the grain, which is always a tough throw for a quarterback. Even, we've talked about it with Patrick Mahomes in the NFL. It's even a tough throw for him sometimes. So that guy can contort his body like nobody that's ever been on the face of this planet. So 2nd and 10 here. Not ideal for the Bombers, but we're with the wind. Only single setback. 4 wide receivers. Look for zone coverage here from ADM.
And quarterback keeper. Gatchel was trying to follow his blockers, able to pick up about 2 yards before being brought down. So 3rd down and about 8 yards again.
Hatchett there, Jonathan Hatchett with the tackle. So now we're 3rd and 8. I'd like to see Mason pick his feet up a little bit more and be more physical in that run game. Don't kind of tiptoe through the tulips. Just put your foot in the ground, bury your head, and let's get 4 yards and see what happens. So we get 3rd and 6 here, 3rd and 5. So we're going to go heavy QB run game. You got to be willing to carry the load.
3rd and 8. Bombers looking to get on the scoreboard as they find Gibson. He bobbled the pass and it was able to maintain the reception for the 1st down.
It was Jackson Pitson on the tackle there, number 6. Gibson with a little razzle-dazzle, boppity-boo, but he brought it in, so we'll take the 1st down. And again, the Bombers with another 1st down. We're racking up the 1st downs right now, Brock. We're really moving the football fairly well from 35 to 35. Now we're across the 50 officially, so it's first time all night we've been across the 50. So good things coming here for the Bombers.
Gatchel throws it. The ball is batted and intercepted by the Tiger defense.
Yeah. I wasn't watching there. It was batted, but that was not a very good decision there from Mason. It was tipped on the play, but
that was Jansen.
It was Reinderson with the interception there. And again, we got across the 50, and we said it earlier, we touched on it, the team who makes the least amount of mistakes in this one, and there's one against the Bombers. So now our defense has got to dig in. I feel like we want to be aggressive, but we're a little bit passive right now. You know what I mean? Like we're kind of driving with 2 feet. We want to step on the throttle, but we also want to hit the brake. We got to get either both feet in or both feet out. Depends on what you want to do.
Scholl on the keeper. Bounces to the right side, able to fight off Vitzum for a little bit and gain some extra yardage before being officially brought down for a gain of 7.
That was Vitzum who knocked him out of bounds there for the Bombers. Bombers in the white helmets, the red tops, and the blue pants. They're very patriotic tonight here in October. It's a beautiful evening, though, really. We could use the rain, but they're starting to pull the crops out here behind us, so little dust in the air as the Bombers jump off sides there, so should be an easy 1st down for the Tigers.
So we'll allow the Tigers to pick up a 1st down.
Yes, it will. And this is, we start with a turnover. They give up a little run game action on the QB, which we know that's going to happen, and then we get a penalty. So now we're 2 out of the last 3 have been not where we want to be.
There we go, the official able to correct himself. Officially a first down for the Tigers. Scholl has been taking a heavy load of the carries for the Tigers as he keeps it that time again, and Vitsum able to wrap him up and bring him down.
That was Vitsum, and it was, I believe it was 28. It looked like maybe that was Schaefer back that got through there initially, but putting a lot of pressure on their offensive line right now. Our run fits and our gap control is better, and I think that's a learning experience from last week against North Polk because our gap control and our run fits were not very good, and that means filling the gaps on the offensive side, and we shored that up a little bit this week. We're in man-to-man on the backside as Gibson goes with 1 in motion.
Scholl looking to pass, will fire it, has a man, it's completed all the way to the end zone for a Tiger touchdown. That's number 11, Corbin Reed with the reception for 6.
And he just got loose, and that was Eiley that got beat. That was Chase Eiley that got beat on that one. So we talked about it again. It's something we touched on is the big plays, and you just cannot give them up if you're the Bombers, and that's technically a big play outside of 30 yards, and it's frustrating not only for the coaching staff but for us guys up here. We just got to now offensively we got to get something going. We keep moving the football. There's the extra point impending here.
PAT attempt is up and good, and with 8:37 left in the first half, Tigers are the first ones to take a big swing, and they connect with a 7-point drive thanks to Scholl and Reed connecting on that.
Yeah, and Hudson Scholl stood back there for probably 3 or 4 seconds. Had plenty of time to throw the football. So, and when you're playing man-to-man, you don't have any help on the roof, you better get to the quarterback, and we didn't, and he just picked us apart. He ran that route. Reed ran that route from the right side, from the numbers, came across like a little post pattern, and he just had a step or 2 on Eiley, and there it was. So we got to work it out for us now because it's 7-0. This team has given up points all year. They've given up anywhere from 28 to 40 points almost every game, or in the 20s. So they give up points, but they score them, and they score them pretty quickly, as we just saw. So, and they take advantage of turnovers, man, and that's what good teams do. Then that's why they're ranked. That's why they're RPIs 4, and their only loss is to an undefeated Lewis Central team.
Bombers have been able to benefit off of great kick returns all season long as Gibson muffs the kick, and he'll get tackled. So pretty much a sign that we haven't seen all year long is struggling to return kicks tonight for the Bombers.
That was Engelman on the tackle.
So that's twice now the Bombers have muffed a kick.
Yes, they have. And this is just 3 phases of football, right? Offense, defense, and special teams. And right now it has not been good on the special team side for the Bombers, and on the offensive side with a turnover. Like I said, we can't drive with 2 feet. You either got to put your foot on the gas pedal or take it off and tap that brake, but you can't play it both ways here. So we'll see what Coach Crandall and the guys, Coach Howard, get drawn up here for the Bombers.
So after the interception on the last drive, they'll pitch it to Gibson on the first play as he fights his way, keeps up for a really good gain, a gain of 10, good enough for a first down.
Wyatt Schweiger on the tackle there. So now we're cooking with gas here, Bear, as it's looks like 2nd and very short. Actually, they're giving him the first down, moving him the first down, so we'll give him 10. So don't mind that, but there's part of me that wishes it was 2nd and about 1 foot to give us. Then you can kind of dictate to the defense what you want to do. But I don't know if it changes the play call here or not. He might like something. I like PK Miller down here with number 6.
A quick pass over to the left side completed for a decent gain.
Let go Nicky Schonhorst over there.
Gain of 4. Bring up 2nd and 6.
Schonhorst on it. One thing I'd like to see out of Mason Gatchell is let's look at one and kind of look at another, right? Let's go through our progressions. And we've seen that from Mason this year. But right now he's kind of got a one-track mind, and we got to get him to open it up. It's like driving your car, right, Brock? That windshield's so big, and that rear view mirror is so small, because it's all in the past, right? So you got to open up your eyes and see the future. So That's what we hope Mason can do here.
He's getting deep.
He's getting deep, man. Well, it might be Bears' last one. We got to get them all out here, Dan.
A quick pitch over to Gibson. Great stiff arm, able to fight through a couple defenders, pick up of 2. So almost a 3rd and long, more of a 3rd and manageable thanks to the extra effort from Gibson.
That was Pitson on the tackle, but yeah, Jude made one guy miss with a stiff arm, then put his head down and his shoulder down and said, I'm going to get as many yards as I can. Not going to shimmy, shake, and make the earthquake, but I'm just going to put my head down. Ever do that, Brock? You shimmy, shake, make the earthquake?
I've not.
You got them dance moves? Me neither. I was just asking if you have. I don't know what that even is. I made that up right now.
3rd and 5. Gatchel looking to throw on 3rd down. Now pulls the ball down, and there's nothing there for him. So he'll bring up a 4th down. So he basically gets back to the line. I guess he probably picked up a gain of 3.
That's Farber on the tackle there for the Tigers, Lucas Farber. And again, another drive kind of fizzles out right around that midfield at 35, 40-yard line again for the Bombers. Bear, looks like that's your future competition down there.
Channel 8.
That's Channel 8 News down here.
Gatchel punts it away, and actually it's a very good punt as it bounces around the 23-yard line, goes inside the 10. Can it stop?
Schoen's got to get it.
Oh, it goes to the end zone.
I kind of feel like that Schoen gave up on that one, just maybe a little bit, maybe not, but I don't know if he could have got there or not, but Gatchel booted that thing with the win, and it rolled. That was Torrey Taylor-esque.
Dang.
For you Hawkeye fans out there, but to no avail, it goes in the end zone. Looks like we got a minute. You see down there in your left-hand corner that Flight little logo, Flight Bar and Grill. Bear, we can't speak enough about them. Matt and Marianne, they got a new endeavor coming up here with the Fabled Popcorn Company.
Yep.
That's opening up here. I don't know if it's this month or next, but that Flight Bar and Grill, I don't know if we'd be standing here right now, to be honest with you.
The team I work with at Iowa State, they actually stopped at Flight for a couple drinks, I think.
Okay, very good.
This afternoon.
Very good.
They were like, "Are you going to go?" I was like, "Oh, I got a football game.
I got to work tonight, guys."
Scholl gets the run over to the left side, and a tough hit between a ball boy
takes
and
the
Scholl.
Ball boy out. The ball boy jumped right up. I don't know who that kid is, but holy smokes, he's getting a huge applause.
Get him some pads.
Schoen knocked him out of bounds, but the ball boy pops right up. The head official comes over, checks him out. Now we'll see how tough he is, but whoo, mama. The guys are checking on him. He took a hit. He's okay, though, I think. I think he's okay. He didn't want to lose his job.
That's a tough guy.
That is a tough guy. Toughest play we've seen all night.
Scholl will hand it off. Met
That's
right
Big
away.
McCready. Big John McCready. Big John McCready. Big John, that's a great name, by the way. That sounds like a WWE name, right? I know you're a wrestling guy, Barry.
Big John Stud.
Big John Stud. There you go. You watched the Vince McMahon deal on Netflix?
Yes.
Yeah? What was your take on that? I thought it was interesting.
I will say I knew a lot of the stuff heading into it, but there was more information that was provided that I didn't know.
Yeah, it was very interesting. It's interesting. If you're a wrestling fan, I recommend it. You got to avert your eyes from Vince McMahon. He's had a lot of work done over the years. A little scary,
yes.
But back to the action here. Scholl, a little pressure there now.
Fires it away, has a man. There's Reed again, and he is gone. 15, 10, 5, gone. Touchdown, Tigers.
Another big play. Another big play given up. And I'll tell you what, that is frustrating as all get out right now for the Bombers. We had him in the grasp, and we couldn't bring him down, and we got beat over the top once again. We're going to have to make some adjustments here for the Bombers in the back end because we're not getting enough pressure, and he just stepped up into the pocket and lofted that one, and Reed kind of didn't even go scramble drill, just went over the top, and he was wide open. So that's 2 touchdowns in the last 3 minutes here for the ADM Tigers passing the ball.
PAT attempt is good, and just like that, 14-0 is your score in favor of ADM. So,
well, we talked about it, Brock. So now, and that's into the win. That's 2 passing touchdowns into the win for this ADM team. And this Ballard team now has got to either step up. I don't know what else to say other than they got to step up here, man. We got to get a touchdown. We got to get points on this drive right here, right now. This is probably the most crucial drive that we've had all season long coming up here for the Bombers.
You look at the rankings and everything. ADM obviously number 4, so getting a win would be huge, but the Bombers are down 14-0. And you mentioned how the Bombers need to at least stay competitive, if not get a win in this one when you're looking at the playoff rankings. Obviously, there's 2 more games after this, but you got to get every win possible in terms of playoff
standings. And you don't want to leave it
standings.
into an algorithm, right, or rankings. If you can win out, you're in, right? If we go 6-3, we're in. If we go 5-4, you're sweating it out and you're trying to figure out what's going to happen. But we got to get back in this game. First things first, it's 14-0 with 5:30 to go here in the second quarter. And the Tigers have jumped. They're mauling us right now, for lack of a better term.
So Vitzum will get it past the 25, around the 26. Again, a 22 on that kick return.
Grant Engelman on the tackle there for the Tigers.
First down and 10 for the Bombers.
Coach Hochul was not very happy on the sidelines there, as we got to get somebody blocked is what he's preaching, as he kind of handles the special teams. And you're not going to find a guy with more passion. You might find a few more out here, and I'm pretty good buddies with all of them, but these guys live and breathe this stuff, man, and it's high school kids, but they got a lot of passion. And Ethan being a Huxley guy, a Ballard guy, he wants this as much as anybody out there. So we got to get points, Bear. Bottom line, we got to get points right now.
Well, handoff on the first play up to the right side. A very short gain of about 1.5, maybe 2 at best.
Carver Sutton again brings in the tackle. And Brock, you don't have to be a football aficionado, but most football games are won at the line of scrimmage. And right now, ADM is winning at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. You watch Iowa State, you watch Iowa, you watch Notre Dame, you watch the Minnesota Vikings, whoever it is. It's defensive and offensive line play, and right now ADM is winning up front.
Another handoff to Hedrick on the right side, looking to fight off the defender, keeps pushing forward. A gain of about 3 yards, so it's still third down, though.
It's Pitson on the tackle, and Pitson's a good player for them. And I'll tell you what, Rhett Hedrick's a load to bring down, but Pitson, I mean, solo tackle. Rhett's got to make one guy miss. He gets one guy to miss, and he's down the sideline. And we didn't make a miss. Bottom line, this ADM team is well coached. You can see it, and they're well schooled, and they've built a culture over there. And you can, I mean, these guys are in the right spots more often than not.
Getting close to the 4-minute mark here before halftime. The Ballard Marching Band will perform at half, but right now we're on a third down play. Handoff to Vitzum, running, and met quickly. He's able to gain a couple yards, but it won't matter because it still brings up fourth down.
Yeah, it's going to be about 4th and 3. Looks like we're going to punt this one away again here for the Bombers.
So it's going to bring up the special teams unit for both sides. Gatchell looking to have another great punt. Hopefully can spot it inside the 10. That one is away. Fair catch called, bouncing around the 11-yard line.
That's a penalty. That should be a penalty now because he ran the football, so that should be a penalty. And they're not going to call it on him, but he did try to advance the ball.
Coach Holkel is asking for the flag.
And he is 100% correct because he waved his hand, and I'm not sure what the explanation here, but I'm pretty sure that Coach Holkel, it's not going to be good enough for Coach Holkel. And he's correct, because if he waves his hand and he tries to advance the football, that is a penalty. It's no different.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Well, I didn't know that. We couldn't hear it up here, so that checks out. And fair catch is always a very sore subject around here amongst Iowa fans.
Oh, really?
Bear, I'm not going to – that's all we're going to say. We're going to leave it there. But that was definitely signaled. You could see it high above his head. It was.
I mean, it could be worse. Two players getting knocked into each other for a
but
fumble.
that is true. That's all happened. Press coverage out here with Vitzum on the. And look, the ball's on the turf.
Ball's
that's a
loose, and that's
recovered
recovered by the Bombers.
Yes, it is. That's Red Hedrick. That's Red Hedrick, and it looked like that might have been Waka. That was either, I think it might have been Anderson who knocked it out of there. So a huge turn of events for the Bombers as they're going to take over on the 15. It was Eiley with the recovery. Okay, Chase Eiley with the recovery. Thank you, Brandon. Brownie gave me all these single digits out here. I get backwards and confused. It was Eiley with the fumble recovery, and I think that Caden Anderson may have forced that fumble. So huge turn of events here. Bombers knocking on the door with just over 3 to go.
Bombers need to find a way to get the ball in the end zone on this drive. Haven't put up any points so far tonight. Down 14 as we get closer to the half. Hand off to Vitzum. Able to fight off the first tackler. Pushes forward. Keeps going for a very short gain, but any gain is better than no gain. A gain of 2.
Yeah, Sammy Hill on the tackle there. Devin Gelhar, excuse me. Check that. Devin Gelhar on the tackle there. It'll be second and about 8. Long 7, short 8 here. Right now at the point of attack, Brock, we've got to be better at the point of attack. And it's hurting us because they're playing on our side of the line of scrimmage. So we're having to make a guy miss. We've got to get out the gate, get down the field with no touch.
Vitzum in motion over to the left side. Gatchel looking to throw, fakes it. Will fire it, and it's intercepted at the 4-yard line.
That's a pre-made decision by Mason, and just not a very good one there from the senior, and he wants that one back. But he kind of faked this screen and the throwback, and now Reinerson again is at his second pick of the game, I believe, tonight. He's sitting back there playing safety, and I'm not sure on the combination there as far as the route combo, but it was very strange because he ran that little, almost like a little post pattern, and there was really only one guy out on the route. But he pump faked the screen pass, looked left, and then back to the middle. Just that's a bummer play there, but now maybe the Bombers can push him back here and maybe get another possession here before the half ends. I think we've got all 3 of our timeouts left, so see what the Tigers do.
Unfortunate turn of events for the Bombers. As Scholl will take it over to the left side. He's got a great hole. And finally brought down after a gain of 9 on first down, tackled by Waka.
That was Dylan Schoen on the tackle. Yeah, Waka kind of got that left tackle and got inside of Waka's pads and just kind of dominated Jackson back down the field. But you don't see that very often from Waka. But again, these guys are well schooled and they know what they want to do. There's really nothing fancy about it. It's just kind of smash mouth football, and we want to do what we do and do it well.
So actually it's a gain of 10, so it brings up a first down instead of a second down and 1 with 2:14 left. Great opportunity, unfortunately, for the Tigers to get another score on the board before halftime.
Looking at the play clock over there as they got to reset the play clock. There we go. And I believe it should be out of bounds, so we shouldn't even start the clock. The clock should not have started. I think he was knocked out of bounds, I believe, wasn't he, or not? I believe he was knocked out of bounds. So, but the play clock is running.
So there.
The game clock is running. It was forward. Okay, so he was moving. I'm not familiar with that rule, I guess, but I thought if he was moving backwards. But it was anyway. Regardless, first down. So it'll be second down. That one was made by Luster there, the tackle by number 6, Jacob Luster. Now 2nd and 9. And it looks like ADM is going to be content to go to the Bombers have all 3 timeouts left, and ADM's against the wind.
And ADM gets the ball in the second half.
Yes, they do. They get the ball to start the second half.
Joel rolls out. Right side pass to Reed. It is completed. So with a minute left, we'll see if ADM kind of speeds it up if they are going to try to score here.
It's in there. And now I believe the Bombers are going to take a timeout here. It's 3rd and about 4.
So 55 seconds left and a timeout stops the clock. ADM will have a third down and about 4 or 5 yards.
And there's just under a minute to play here, so Bombers still have 2 timeouts left, correct? That was their first of the half, so
Yep.
they got 2 to play with. But you mentioned it earlier here, Brock. The Tigers get the ball to start the second half, and down 14-0, and the Bombers haven't had a lot. We've got 2 turnovers, 2 or 3 turnovers now. We got to force another one, and we forced one here on defense and couldn't take advantage of it. So we'll see if the Bombers' defense can't stand tall here once again and maybe give the offense a shot, because we do have a field goal kicker. We got Samuel Leg Hoffman, so we can get him in range. We could get some points before the end of the half. Let's see what happens here.
Scholl runs it. Flag thrown. Able to break a couple tackles, and he's past the 50, over to the 40, inside to the 33, 34-yard line. There are 2 flags on the field.
Yeah, looks like the first one's in the vicinity of holding, and I don't know what the second one is. It's the middle of the field here, thrown by the back judge, so we'll see what we have. But Scholl with another big play there in the run game.
Little score update. You mentioned an undefeated Lewis Central team. They're currently down 17-0 against Winterset, which for us is not ideal when you're in terms of the wild card.
No, it is not. No, the penalties should not offset if they're both against the offense. The penalties should not offset. So, folks, we're going to get clarification on this. And Coach Howard is talking to the side judge. We're going to get a definition. The holding was on the defense, number 9, so the penalties will offset.
So we got another score update. Indianola's up 14-8 against North Polk, so another wild card situation you don't want to necessarily see, but at the same time, I don't know how much that one impacts the Bombers, just because they've got a win and a loss against that.
And this is Scholl, so the Bombers got to get a timeout now. They got to get it quick. They do.
So 37 seconds left. You got the ball around the 11-yard line. Of course, there's a reason I'm up here, but sure. I don't know why you wouldn't want to send everybody.
You might want to send the house, but then you know what, right now, again, we talked about house money, right? It's 14-0. Pin your ears back and try to get it, but don't rough him if you can't. And see what happens, because more than likely, even if he gets the punt off, he's punting it from inside his own end zone, right? It's about 15 yards from the snap. He's not punting that thing to the 45-yard line. So even if we have nobody back, we have one guy back. I like your idea, Brock. I mean, see what happens. Put a little pressure on them and see how they hang. And they kind of like to do a little, we call it Vegas punt back, and then they kind of roll out a little bit, give a little bit of time for their guys, but we'll see what happens as it's about 4 yards deep in the end zone here.
Looks like the Bombers are backing up.
They're bailing early here to try to get a return, so maybe they like it with Vitzum to try to get something good here.
So the punt is away. Ball bounces. Vitzum will catch it around the 44-yard line. He runs to the right side. There's a flag thrown as he gets inside to the 20, inside to the 10, breaks a tackle inside the 5, but the ball is probably going to get brought back, and the coaches are not happy.
I'm going to tell you right now, if this is a holding call on Jude Gibson, this is not a very good call, Brock. And I know I've got to be careful with my vernacular and what I'm saying, but this was a really good block by Jude on the long snapper or that gunner coming down the sideline. Squared him up and just took him right to the ground. We're going to see who it's called on, but I think it's holding on the Bombers, and this is a huge penalty for us.
I mean, I don't think the comments are watching, so you don't have to worry.
That's fair. Boy, I don't like that call at all.
That's brutal.
I don't love that call at all.
So the Bombers will take over. And even though the Bombers got inside the 5, they're now all the way back on their side of the field.
Yeah, that's a tough one to swallow for the Bomber Nation out here, because I thought Jude did a very nice job squaring him up, and he had his hands inside of him. I just feel like he pancaked him. I felt like that was just a really good block. But again, we're biased. We're on the Ballard Network, right? We got bees on our chest. So, but it's not an easy job those guys got out there in the stripes. So they're much better at it than I am. They're much better at it than I am. So, but Bombers do have a timeout left here, I believe.
Yep, they got one timeout.
Yeah, there's one
Scoreboard
timeout
doesn't
left.
show it, but yes, officially one timeout for the Bombers. Called their first two in the last possession.
Yes,
that helps
sir.
set up this offensive drive. Hopefully the Bombers can get something going here as they have 5 wide with 25 seconds left.
A lot of time here if you're the Bombers. Step up in that pocket, Mason.
Quick pass to Gibson. Gibson looking to break a tackle and does, and it looks like he picked up the first down, so the clock
Now you
should
got to get on the ball.
stop.
Now we've got a penalty marker on the field. It looks like, again, in the vicinity of holding.
Going to be tackled by number 1, Schweiger. Also number
Schweiger was on the tackle. It's the deal, Brock. The Tigers only brought 3 guys there, so the numbers are in our favor as far as up front. We got to block those 3 with our 4 or 5 and make it happen and not hold. And again, there's another penalty that's just a dagger to us. So we've seen it on the punt return. Now we've seen it here, and I'm kind of having a little bit of deja vu in those first couple games that we saw with the Pella game and the Humboldt game, and you never want to talk about past stuff. It does not matter, it's in the past, but this is eerily familiar.
I'm not going to lie, I think Gatchel's going to just take a knee here, and the Bombers are going to go to half.
I believe you're correct. Now he doesn't even have to snap it, actually.
Oh. So 3 seconds, 2, 1, and we have hit the half. Well, thanks to connection between Scholl and Reed, 2 touchdowns on the day for both of them. And because of that, Tigers are up 14-0 at the half against the Bombers here in Rich Strauss Field. We will be back after the break. We'll have your guys' halftime performance with the Ballard Band, but then we'll come back, recap the first half, and then get the second half rolling here. Again, ADM's up 14-0 against the Ballard Bombers.
Featuring the songs such as Night on Bald Mountain, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, Part of Your World, and Beauty and the Beast. Seniors on the field are signified by not wearing their red jackets. The drum majors are Pippa Rayner and Rebecca Skinner. After the regular halftime performance, the band will say goodbye to their seniors with a farewell song, You'll Never Walk Alone. Drum majors, is the band ready? The field is yours for halftime.
Yeah. We're back live here at Rich Strauss Field. 14-0 is your score in favor of ADM. Before we get into recapping the first half, I got to ask you.
Yes, sir.
Just thinking about all the memories that we've made through these broadcasts.
In about a year and a half, almost 2 years here. Okay.
Do you remember a softball game and what the entire joke was that entire broadcast?
The softball game.
You were going over like snacks and stuff of things I haven't tried.
Fig Newtons.
Yes.
Fig Newton.
So.
Oh, no. Oh, Brock is.
I made a pit stop before the game.
Okay.
And we got some Fig Newtons.
Fig Newtons here. Brock, he is a man of his word, and he stopped somewhere because he's got him, though.
Went to a local establishment.
Local establishment here. Okay. So Danny's going to get the camera on
all
you
three
here,
of
Bear.
us. Dan, you're joining in.
Okay. We're going to have a Fig Newton tasting here. This, I think we could have peeled it there, Barry.
That's fine. It doesn't matter.
Okay. This is
Dan, you're getting in on this.
Here, let me grab this one. Danny, here you go. There's a Fig Newton for you. A Fig Newton for me. These are the
yeah, do they want to join in on
you guys
the
want a Fig Newton over here? Steve, Brock's never had a Fig Newton. Fresh, right out of the bag. Brock's never had one.
Hey, cheers. Cheers, guys.
Cheers to Fig Newtons.
Fig Newtons and a great Ballard Network crew.
Absolutely. Here we go. Brock, this might be his farewell. How is it, buddy?
It's good.
I'm telling you. The older you get a little coffee with that, a little tea. You get a little tea with a little Fig Newton. Brandon's going to double down over here. Brownie knows what it's about.
Good.
Yeah, man, you've been missing out for the last 23 years of your life, brother.
It was worth the price.
Yeah, absolutely. You can take these home. You're going to have snacks all weekend, man. Fig Newton. We just got the Bear to try a Fig Newton. I guarantee there's been plenty of bears in the world that have eaten Fig Newtons. Not you. Maiden voyage? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what flavor are these? Are Fig Newton all the same flavor?
They have strawberry Newtons. I think Fig is like the actual like.
Oh, it's the actual Fig. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's great.
I was like, what a better way to like for the last broadcast if we don't, assuming that we're not back for football.
It's been better part of over a half decade or longer since I've had a Fig Newton. So, thank you for enlightening my palate to a good Fig Newton again. Holy smokes, I've been missing out. Folks, we're not even getting paid by Fig Newton right now. We should be. Nabisco should be on the bottom line with us here. But we love Flight Bar and Grill. We love the Ballard Booster Club. But Brock, first Fig Newton in the history of the world for Brock, the Bear Bierman. Wow.
Had to do that for the last game. You guys were bullying me.
I
was looking.
Hey, easy on the bully term. We were recommending, Brock.
Yes, you guys were recommending.
Okay, thank you. Holy smokes.
I forgot you guys have broadcasts after this. I don't.
That's right. Yeah. You can't throw all caution to the wind here, Bear. We're still on the network. Like we can't have a Lee Corso moment here with you. The FCC's still watching, possibly. Oh, no, I got Fig Newton in my teeth. I'm going to probably have to have another one.
I
Maybe you know what happens here? It could be something to it here. We had the Fig Newton. We've changed the mojo. We've tried something new. Look for a new start, a fresh new Bombers here in the second half as we kick off into the wind here from the leg.
I was about to say the FCC is probably more worried about a 21-7 score. As the Tigers return this one and brought down quickly by Anderson.
Caden Anderson, good
around
play
the 23-yard line.
Good coverage there. He lost his footing, but Anderson was right there. So, hey, first things first, 3 and out. Get off the field, right?
Or force a turnover.
Or force a turnover. You're correct. Even went with a Fig. Solid call out of you, Brock. That's why you're the best in the business, man. It's just the Fig Newtons.
I was just thinking back of all the things that, like, small little things that have been brought up over and over again. Before you were here, Chase kept talking about, what was it, salamanders or something like that, or
gross.
lizards.
Yeah,
and someone brought him a lizard pin for a game. And so I was like, we got to bring the Fig Newtons out. So first down and 10.
Offset wide receiver.
Scholl on the keeper. He's wrapped up quickly, able to break the tackle, though. And then he's brought down after gaining 2 from the broken tackle.
Broken tackle. They're not sure who was on the tackle. It was 28, had him wrapped up, and he kind of worked his way out of that one. See, 28 is for us, Brandon. Let me look at that really quick here. That's, Blake Brendelin's been in there a couple times. He just couldn't get Scholl wrapped up. He was right there, couldn't make the tackle, but second and long as Scholl steps back and slings it the old lefty to Reed. That's a deadly combination right now, Scholl and Reed out there. That's, I think, Reed's 4th or 5th catch of the evening. He's got well over 100 yards receiving, I believe, those 2 long catches. But now it's 3rd and 2. Get off the field here. Look for QB run game with Scholl. The back is offset, though, so we could be seeing QB run here for sure, as that's the tendency, as the Bombers almost jumped.
So 3rd and 1. First possession of the second half. 7 seconds on the play clock. Scholl waiting the snap. Watch the keeper as he keeps it. Goes up the middle. Met quickly, but he does gain enough yardage to pick up the first down.
Dylan Schoen there on the tackle. The safety sticks his nose in there, as we've seen Dylan do that all year long. Not afraid of contact, but there's that tendency, that offset back. So you're seeing it here again. If he's offset, it's high chance it's going to be QB run game. Or now with a little pressure as he throws it up again.
And out of bounds. Was he out of the pocket? Honestly, don't know.
I don't know if he was or not. He threw it out of bounds. There was a receiver over there. That was number 1. It was Schweiger over there. Wyatt Schweiger, the intended receiver. Gibson, good coverage down here from 23. Jude Gibson.
2nd down and 10. Early in the 3rd quarter.
Bombers need a stop here, Brock. We need a stop in the worst way for Jackson Walken to make something happen, as he's back in coverage here.
Here comes Luster. Scholl's able to fight off him, and that pass bounces incomplete. 3rd down and 10.
3rd and 10. Coach Hochul getting after his guys on the backside. Eiley with good coverage out there, and Vitzum. We've got Vitzum locked up on Reed, and that's what that defensive coaching staff wants. Wherever Reed goes, Vitzum goes, and that's what they got to have. So Tucker knows it. He's following him around. 3rd and long. Flush Scholl out of the pocket there a little bit. Luster was there. Waka had his hands up. Tough throw for the lefty. Look for QB run here as play field position if you're ADM up 14-0.
Bombers show pressure. Little throwback and quickly made.
The ball was on the turf. They're going to call it incomplete.
Okay.
That looked like
that
it was
been huge.
Yeah, that was Brendelin again in there on that one. They read that one like a book. They read that like Of Mice and Men. Brock, John Steinbeck, you ever read that one?
No.
I read that one back in the day. Really good book. Really good book. Seen the movie too. That was
I was about to ask, is there a movie?
John Malkovich, Gary Sinise in that movie. But hey, bigger news out here is Bombers just get a stop. Not even, just a little over a minute off the clock on that drive for the Tigers. Oh, it's the back, and he fumbled it, and he's on the turf. Now he calls him down, but it doesn't matter. Big time special team play there. That was number 21 in there. 21, that's Lewis Harms on that. You could say the punter got in harm's way there.
I'm going to miss this.
Holy smokes, folks. That one was put on a tee, and I had to hit that one. Lewis Harms comes up huge for the Bombers.
Bombers need to capitalize here.
Absolutely. Great field position. 1st and 10 from the Tiger 25. Just what the doctor ordered if you're a Bomber fan.
In motion is Vitzum over to the left side. Gatchel, hand off to Hedrick. Hedrick pushes his way forward into the defensive line for a gain of about 3 yards on 1st down.
Brownie's working overtime. Carver Sutton again. Sutton, Engelman, we've said Sutton, we've said Engelman, we've said Reinerson multiple times. 6 out there for the Tigers, been on a lot of tackles, but now it's 2nd and 8 here. We'll see what we've got. We've got PK Miller up on the top side. 2 on the roof, but those safeties are only about 8 yards off the ball.
Quick pass caught by Schonhorst, close to the 1st down line. I think he's about a yard short, so 3rd and 1.
Wyatt Schweiger there on the tackle. You got to believe it's 4-down territory here for the Bombers, down 14-0. Looks like we're bringing in heavy package here. I look for a steady dose. Here's the thing is, I think Hedrick's good for a half a yard, but Vitzum might be good for a house call here. So we'll see what happens.
Got to have a similar play like on that 3rd down in the 1st quarter where he just shoots out Goes quickly with his speed.
Gatchel under center here. We don't see this very often from the Bombers.
They'll hand it off to Hedrick. Able to spin forward off the tackle for the first down. It was a rough lane. The blocking wasn't necessarily helpful, but he was able to get the first down.
But we pulled on that. We had numbers out there, and we just got to make one guy miss, and that's what we haven't done yet so far. We just got to get a little wiggle as Vitsum comes off, a little hitch in his giddy up here as Tucker comes off. So that'll bring down with the Sidness in here, 24. Eric Sidness. Look for him on a little seam route here. This is kind of where his bread and butter. Middle of the field.
Bombers like to throw that zone. Bombers like to throw up a little fade route into the end zone around this territory. PK Miller and Sean Horse on
man-to-man here.
The wide side as they'll hand it off to Hedrick. Hedrick's got a couple men to beat inside the 5.
Good run there from Red Hedrick.
Officially tackled actually at the 6-yard line.
That was Pitts in there. Nice run there. ADM Tigers were in man-to-man as we sent Gibson in motion. DB went with him, so we had numbers on that run game there. So in a 7 it says. So, hey, man, right now, keep your foot on the gas if you're the Bombers.
2nd and 3. Bombers knocking on the door of the end zone for the first time tonight. Handoff. Vitsum over to the left side, and the defense of the Tigers are there right away.
So we got to look at the counter action there. That's Engelman there. If we're the Bombers, we got to look at counter now. So we're pulling those guards. It's almost like a counter tray, and we see those guys. They're reading it. If you're Mason, you got to make that decision, pull that ball and go naked around the outside, and that's a naked bootleg, folks. For those of you that are listening at home, that's where the quarterback with nobody out in front of him, he's naked out there, so there's no one out there. He's going to probably make one guy miss. He scampers into that end zone, but now we're on the left hash. Got Sean Horst down here on the 10, PK Miller up top. 3rd and a long 4 here for the Bombers. He'll get a first down.
7:30 to go and a flag thrown.
Looks like it's delay a game on the Bombers.
Crucial mistake there from the Bombers will now make it a 3rd and long.
We touched on this. Can't make mistakes, and now it's 3rd and 9 as opposed to 3rd and 4 as the play clock runs out.
So 7:28 left in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 9. Bombers still scoreless here. ADM up 14.
It's walk-in motion. The linebacker went with him.
Gatchel fires it and incomplete.
We looked for a little PI, but there was no call. Could have been a holding call there on Sean Horst, but there's no avail. So now we're going to, I don't know if we're going to try to PAT this. Excuse me, not PAT, but go for a field goal. So this will be a little bit of a challenge here for Sammy into this win, but we are on the left hash. 14-0, the Tigers lead. This will be about he's from what, the 20?
Around the 18-yard line.
Yeah, so it's about a 28-yard attempt here into the stiff breeze here for the leg.
Hoffman's kick is up and
it's
good.
Sammy the Leg Hoffman.
3-14 is your score.
And there he is again. Every kick counts as you want to. If you feel compelled, go ahead and scan that QR code for Sammy the Leg Hoffman, the freshman. So the Bombers are on the board. Would rather had 7 there. We'll take the 3, but again, got them turned over on the special teams. Got to take advantage of it, but we got points. So 14-3. 3rd and 4, and the delay of game penalty was a big one there for the Bombers as it took us back to 3rd and 9.
I want to give a shout out to Flight Bar and Grill for being our presenting sponsor for the past year and a half. We're getting close to 2 years basically together, which has been great. They've been huge supporters of the Ballard Network and the Ballard Community School District as a whole. Yeah. So we thank them for their support, as well as the Ballard Athletic Booster Club for all their support of Ballard Athletics.
Yeah, Flight Bar and Grill has been nothing short of phenomenal for us and for the community, the Ballard community, Huxley community, because they are in the town of Huxley. But overall, they've been just outstanding. And the Booster Club, day in, day out, they're trying to raise money to support every athlete 7 through 12 here for Bomber Athletics. So without them, we'd be in a tight spot as well as the kids would be. So See what we can get done here. If we can get another stop and keep the pedal down. And a big seam there.
And on the return is Schweiger.
Looks like that was maybe 25 and on the tackle there for the Bombers. It was Cash Money Johnson down there. I think he's an employee of Flight Bar and Grill there, Cash is. So right on cue. I don't know if he's got any NIL money. I don't know if he's talked to Matt and Marianne about that or not, if he's got a QR code on his helmet or something. He could. That's the world we live in right now. But, I mean, I guess his name is Cash, so right, like that's an easy sell.
Speaks for itself.
Yeah, speaks for itself. That one sells itself, right? Kind of like In Harm's Way. That's an all-timer for me, Brock. I got you and Danny chuckled up on that one. It was like 2 minutes into
no
the first
Barbara
time.
Walters or
Well,
anything.
we're not there yet. We'd like to be, I'll tell you that. Holy smokes.
Handoff on the first play. He's got one man to beat, and that's Hatchett over to the 35-30, 20, 15, 10, 5, and just like that, the Tigers get back on the scoreboard.
The 67-yard run there from Hatchett. And that's a hatchet that will leave a wound, that's for sure, for the Bombers, as the Bombers were cooking with a little something, and just about a bing, about a boom. Hatchet out the gate. Nobody touched him at the line of scrimmage. He made two guys miss, and he was out the gate, as they say, and 6. And just like that, Mr. Mo is back in the Tigers' favor, as it could be 21-3 here, extra point pending.
PAT attempt is good. 21-3. ADM leads it here in Rich Strauss Field in Huxley, Iowa on this beautiful Friday night.
It's beautiful, but it is breezy up here, Brock. It is breezy. But the temperature's about right for a guy. You know, Danny said this on the text message, and folks, we're kind of letting you in a little bit behind the scenes. We thought for sure that the Bear was going to tear his sleeves off of his Ballard polo. Bear likes to kind of go sleeveless. He's kind of one of those guys. He's kind of got that. Have you ever seen the movie Over the Top, Brock?
I have not.
With Sylvester Stallone, and he's Lincoln Hawk. And there's a guy in there, Bo Hurley, I think is his name. And Bo Hurley never wears sleeves. He's a big, bad-looking dude, big arm wrestler. You kind of got a Bo Hurley. If you go a little Fu Manchu, facial hair.
I'll work on it.
Clean shaven tonight, though. He thought maybe if it was his last one, he was going to look good for the cameras, which he does. Danny chose not to wear the polo tonight, Brock. He said he was never going to be on the camera, but he may have made the right choice with the long sleeves. Though. It's a little chilly out here.
Kick is away, and it looks like it's going to be in the end zone, and the Bombers will take over.
Big leg there. Big leg there from
that touchback.
Ethan
Ash.
Ethan Ashke, yeah. Now the Bombers got their work cut out for him now. I mean, you got to have to take some chances and see what happens.
21-3, your score here in Huxley. ADM leads it. 7:03 left in the third quarter. 2 passing touchdowns for Scholl, and then 1 rushing touchdown on that last possession from Hatchett. That's how we get those 21 points for ADM. Bombers got a field goal in their last offensive possession, as that quarterback draw from Gatchel is still going. Able to pick up about 8 yards on first down.
Put his foot in the ground, got his shoulders square, ducked his head, and now we've got 2nd and short. I'd like to see P.K. Miller get a little bit more involved in the passing game here for the Bombers.
And I know we're only in the third quarter, but when you're down 21-3 already, clock starts becoming a factor.
Yeah. Gotta play
especially
with
in high school football.
Yep. Got to play with a sense of urgency here if you're the Bombers. 4-man front again. We've seen it all night from the Tigers.
Quick pass. Schonhorst loses it, and that will be incomplete. Brings up 31, or 3rd and about 1-2 yards.
He's on the money, but we got to go a little quicker here. Got to get the play in. Got to get him in and out of the huddle. With 6:15 to go on the incompletion, it stops the play or the game clock. But now, I mean, you're maybe not quite into 4-down territory, but you're pretty close here on 3rd and short. Down 21-3. We'll see what happens here. Get the first down, and it's a moot point.
Hedrick on the run, left side, able to find a little hole and picks up the first down on that run.
And the Schweiger there, Wyatt Schweiger on the tackle, the defensive back. Nice player. These ADM Tigers are in the right spot. Even on that, we had numbers on that outside blocking there as we pulled our guys in, but their DBs tackle well. You know, that's something to be said for that. They're physical at the point of attack, even on the edges.
Gatchel will fire a pass over to Miller, and it goes just over him. And
yeah, that just floated. That floated, but if you look at that, so we're on the left hash. He threw that outside the numbers. He threw that ball 24 yards in the air for a 3-yard gain if he catches it. So the risk reward there's not great as far as in terms of what we're doing into that little bit of a breeze. And that one got away from Mason. He floated it again, and we saw it early in the first pass play of the game. Same thing to Waka. So we go 4 wide here with only Vitsum in the backfield.
2nd down and 10. Quarterback keeper, Gatchel, able to get a great read of where all the blockers were. Picks up about 10 yards. Gain of 11 officially for the first down.
Pitson on the tackle. Good hard run there by Gatchel, but clock stops on the first down, which is good. But it'll wind again here as the hometown scorekeeper is trying to do his best to not run it, which we can appreciate. But again, the Bombers will go with 4 wide and just Vitsum back there as he'll be behind Gatchel here in the pistol.
Gatchel looking to throw, rolls to the right side. Here comes the pressure, and he's hit hard as he lost the ball. It will be ruled incomplete, but man, that was a tough hit.
Yeah, it was. Got him on the blind side. The first read wasn't there. Looked for his second one, and he got hit as he got his feet set. Mason rolled to the right a little bit there. Like to see him kind of roll and then slide up into that pocket as opposed to going horizontally, get vertically up into that pocket, step up, and then if it's not there, tuck it and run. Tough one there for Gatch.
Close to the 5-minute mark here in the third quarter.
Once again, Bombers need a touchdown here to stay in this one, I believe, Brock.
Hedrick follows his blockers. Able to get back to the line, but nothing else.
Just a really good play on the backside there. Grant Jansen was maybe in on the tackle, but it was 79 that came on the backside, and he just came down the line. So he saw it. It was away. We pulled, and he just came down the line and came from the backside to get Hedrick slowed down. Now we're 3rd and long.
Clock rolling. 4:40 left in the third quarter. Bombers with only 3 points on the scoreboard so far tonight, looking to convert this 3rd and long. Delayed handoff. Here's Vitsum over to the left side. He's got a great lane. He might be gone. He's got one man to beat inside the 15 before he's pushed out of bounds, and that should be a first down for the Bombers.
There's number 4 on the tackle. That was Hatchett. But I'm going to tell you right now, Nick Schonhorst, number 20 on the edge with a huge block that sprung Vitsum on that little draw play there. A little delayed handoff draw, and now the Bombers again. 1st and goal from the 10. This is definitely 4-down territory here. The field's condensed. We'll see what we can get going on here.
45-yard run for Vitsum. They'll give him the ball again as he fights forward for a gain of 2. And the Bombers, last couple possessions have been knocking on the door of the end zone, but just haven't been able to get in there.
Hatchett again on the tackle for the Tigers. It's his 2nd in a row here. Little outside zone action. The thing on the outside zone is that cutback's there, but you've got to get your head in front if you're on the back side, and your footwork's got to be good. You can't just let it go. So we got to do a better job of holding and sustaining those blocks. Not holding, but sustaining them on the backside as Gibson goes in motion. They pass him off.
They'll give it to him. He's able to get a really good gain on 2nd down. Stopped around the 3-yard line.
Now we've got 2 downs to get 3 yards, and we've asked this question before. What's your best 3-yard play?
Tush push.
Well, if you're Jason Kelsey and if he's playing center for us right now, I'm tush pushing this thing right now. I don't think Jason's down there. I mean, young Sparks might have it in him. I don't know.
I believe in him.
Now there we go.
Instead, the Bombers come out.
Little bunch here on the right side. Bring Gibson in motion again.
3 yards to the end zone. Fake handoff. Gatchel running to the left side. He's got a man to beat. He's able to beat him into the end zone for the Bomber touchdown.
It's a big touchdown there for the Bombers. Mason put that thing in his right hand. I'd like to have him in his left hand so it's out there away from the defense so he can stiff arm, but a big touchdown there for the Bombers. We got ourselves a ball game yet here, Barrett. We just don't want to go away.
PAT upcoming.
We talked about that. It was that counter to that kind of action that we saw, everything flowing to the right. Mason takes it naked outside. There was nobody out there, so he had to make a guy miss. He did, and ran to the pylon and got himself 6.
PAT is up and good. 21-10. ADM still leads it, but the Bombers trying to get back into it.
Bombers are in this ball game. A lot of action here in the third quarter. A lot of action. Again, folks, if you want to, every kick counts. Sammy's charity is going to Maternal Awareness is what he's kind of raising dollars for. We've seen it all year. He came to us. We said, yeah, we'll do it, man. And he's been a key cog to this operation this year for the Bombers. Now, special teams. About 2:56 to go here. We got to stave them off, and we get to go with the wind in the fourth quarter, which could be an advantage. But we got to go. Kickoff team, and Coach Hochul is in their ear. No lanes. Wrap up. Don't be a hero. Stay in your lane. Make a football play, and then go 3 and out. The cheerleader down here just did 10 back handsprings in a row. Bear, could you do 1 back handspring?
In my sleep.
In your sleep. Are you a back handspring or a cartwheel guy?
It doesn't matter.
Either way? Okay,
Yeah, it doesn't
okay.
matter.
I didn't know you were a
I'm
gymnast.
so flexible.
That's amazing. It's a block in the back there on 10 on Vitson. Wasn't called. Good coverage there from Schoen, and that looked like 26 was in on that tackle as well for the Bombers.
No, I get out of bed and I almost pull a muscle every time.
There you go, Barry. You're only 23 years old, man. We got to get you flexible. Get in the cold tub. You got a cold tub at your house?
I do not.
You get a cold tub. Get a cold tub, man. I'm telling you, it's life-changing. Kind of shock your system. Really gets you going. Get up in the morning, do BBR, Body by Russ, with Danny and the fellas. Danny and Brownie are on the BBR train. Body by Russ. They're up at 5 a.m. Tuesday, Thursday. 3 C's. Getting swole.
Hand off the Hatchet after that 65-yard run. He stopped short quickly.
Bottled him up there, so it'll be 2nd and long. That was Waka in on the tackle. Haven't heard Waka's name a ton tonight, which is, and that's a scouting thing, right? Like, they're going to avoid him as much as they can, and they're going to double him, and his name's out there, man. You don't need 4A and tackles and sacks and tackles for loss and fumbles forced and all that jazz. So, but big-time players got to make big-time plays.
And this is a big-time game here on 2nd down. Hatchet almost was able to break free, and that was going to be a very long gain if he was able to break that tackle.
Hedrick got him by the shoelaces.
Gain of 5.
Rhett, I think Rhett went down there and tied both of his shoelaces together, tripped him up. Got them wrestler hands, real quick hands, good with the wrist. So be 3rd and about 3 here. Huge 3rd down here for the Bombers. Look for quarterback run game.
Scholl runs it to the left side. He's got a wide open lane for a 1st down. So the Tigers will move the chains.
There's that offset running back, and we talked about it. I touched on it a little bit, but if he's offset, it's about 85% QB run game unless it's pass. So if you're the D lineman and the linebackers, you're looking for QB run.
Fresh set of downs for the Tigers with 1:39 left in the 3rd quarter.
Kind of that false snap count there. They call the defense. So now we've got Hatchett behind him. Look for handoff here to Hatchett.
They'll give it to him, and he's
There it
met
is.
quickly by the Bomber defense. Is that Hedrick?
That looked like it was Waka.
Waka.
Yeah, that was Jackson Waka again. We just touched on him. Big-time players make big-time plays, but he shifted back behind him. That is a key. Your key on the defensive line and as a linebacker is he's getting the football.
Just exploded out of that play for a tackle for loss. Brings up second down and about 13. Scholl looking to fire. Has a man, and there's Reed. Completed for the first down.
And here's the deal there. I'm not sure where Eiley was there, but that was Reed, I believe, and I'm not 100% sure why Vitsum wasn't out there on him. I think it's this the defensive formation we're in. We're in that nickel coverage here, so then Vitsum slides down into that linebacker, kind of that, not really a Sam, but that money player, so he's almost like a strong safety. So Eiley's out here on Reed. And now Reed's down here at the bottom. Oh, that's number 10. Reed's up at top still, I believe.
Scholl on the keeper. Runs to the right side. Fights off a tackler. Able to get about 6 yards before getting pushed out of bounds.
Dylan Schoen had him in the crosshairs but couldn't bring him down. And Scholl's he's just that good. Hudson Scholl's a good player. He's as advertised for sure for the Tigers. He's a two-sport guy, I believe. He's pretty decent on the basketball court as well. I know Coach Michelson over there at ADM, good buddy of mine. I don't know if he's tuned in or not. If you are, Buzz, we're still in this one, so I'll be getting a text later, I'm sure, from him, depending on what happens. QB run here, look for it.
Another keeper. Gibson, first one to touch him, and he wraps him up for a loss of 1.
Good tackle there from Gibson. It looked like Caden Anderson came up with the ball there, but to no avail. He says, here, Mr. Official, take it.
So about a 9-second difference between play clock and game clock in the third quarter. So huge opportunity for the Bombers to gain a little bit of momentum heading into the fourth quarter.
Yes, sir. And if we can get a third down stop here, they could punt into the wind, possibly. Macy Winkowitz take a timeout here if it does come to that, so he could punt with the wind as far as field position goes. Got to get off the field.
6. Scholl rolls out to the left side, still looking. Looks like he's going to run it, and he does. And he's met by the Bomber defense and breaks through it for the first down. Oh,
That's
no.
Such a huge run, and we had him bottled up, and we couldn't make the tackle.
And that will do it for the third quarter of play. Huge play from
that was as big a
Tigers.
play as there's been in this game. We get off the field there, and they punted away to us into the wind, into the fourth quarter. But now here we go. We got to get a stop. It's an 11-point game. That one changes the momentum there, and we had him right where we wanted him. He broke a couple of tackles. Scholl is slippery, I would say. To say the least is probably the right term for him. He's stronger than he looks. And he doesn't go down easily. He's similar to Mr. Feldman last week that we saw with North Pole. Not quite as big in stature, but a little more shifty for sure.
One more quarter. ADM leads at 21-10. Bomber players kind of know that this might be the last opportunity, especially for the seniors, to play on this field. And so they got to just leave it all out there for the final 12 minutes.
You got to bring your guts, man. Vitsum down here man-to-man playing press on Reed.
Hatchett on the carry. And he's able to pick up 2 yards. I think some of the coaching staff are trying to point out something to
I think he might have been going towards the line of scrimmage, which you can't do that in Canadian football. You can. Arena League, you can. You can go towards the line of scrimmage, but I don't know if somebody was in motion heading towards the line of scrimmage, which you cannot do that.
Either way, second down. Quick pass, complete, wrapped up quickly.
Dylan Schoen on the tackle right there.
And a loss of 1, so third down and 9.
Schoen was out there, and that was a nice play out there by Luster to get his hands up as he came downhill out of that nickelback position. Jake Luster was right there. A lot of snaps here for Luster as we went into this 4-2-5. Fairly effective, but we've given up those 3 big plays. I mean, really, those 3 big plays it's a difference in the ball game for the Bombers.
So after that pass to Grant Jansen for a loss of 1, brings up third down and 9. Clock is rolling in the fourth quarter. ADM leads at 21-10.
The wind's picked up a little bit even here more tonight than it was earlier, Brock. But number 11 down here, this is Reed down here. This is Corbin Reed down here at the bottom of your screen. And it looks like ADM's going to take a timeout because they understand how big a third down this is as well. Thought we were going to have some technical difficulties there, but I think we got everything taken care of. And maybe is that the charger?
Yep.
Well, we were just about died. And he's executive producer Dan Inksler's on top of it. Timeout by the Tigers. It's 3rd and 9. I think Coach Winkowitz knows just how big this one is as he's going to have to get it, but you can't count ADM out. It's 3rd and 9, but with Scholl and Reed and Hatchett back there, and the Bombers just got to wrap up and make a tackle here. Just play good, solid, fundamental football. Everybody do your job, and good things happen on the football field.
So after the timeout by ADM brings up 3rd and 9. 10:40 left in the fourth quarter. They lead it 21-10. Bombers looking to get off the field here with a stop. Scholl on the direct snap will run over to the right side, looking to break a tackle. He may have been brought down about a yard or 2 short. This might be 4-down territory, really.
Very well could be here, and I would not be surprised to see ADM go with that hard count for 1. So if you're Ballard, watch the football. They did just call timeout here, so if they leave the offense on the field, I can't believe they're going to burn another one here. We're going to see something here as it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field.
There's 10 seconds left on the play clock.
We might call timeout, or we could see delay of game here if you're ADM. Now they're on the ball.
I think there's a lack of communication between the team.
We're going to get a delay of game.
Oh, timeout?
So they are going to take their second timeout here with 10:32 to go here in the fourth. So,
and with that move, you got to assume they're going for it here.
Yes, sir. Yep, I would 100% agree. If you're the Bombers, you got to bow your neck up here, dig in, and get a stop. This could be huge field position.
Real quick, my neighbor, he watches pretty much all of the games, no matter what sport it is. He always asks for a shout out, so I want to give a shout out to Brent Paulson, man.
Brent Paulson. I just met him the other day at an 8th grade volleyball game. His daughter Olivia plays with mine Audrey, so they were talking about him and another gentleman were talking about Sammy the Legs kick, and I was sitting there, and Kara said, yeah, well, this is Tim. So I got to meet Brett. So, yeah, he is. He's always tuned in, and he's a big fan of the volleyball. So we appreciate you, man. He said, oh, yeah, I live right behind Brock. I said, well, you're either blessed or you're cursed, man. That's what I told him.
You can decide on that. Scholl on the direct snap will pick up the first down.
Yes, he will. That is just them saying, we're going to run this right at you. And that's exactly what they did. That's such a huge first down there from the Tigers.
So first down.
Schoen on that tackle. Dylan Schoen, that's the safety making that tackle. And the clock will wind here as we get it going. A couple of huge third down and fourth down conversions on this drive alone for the Tigers as we had them.
That should have been false start. So the Tigers are going to pick up about 5 or 6 yards, but the receiver close to us, like moved like 2 seconds
and
before.
Dylan Schoen came out of there with that football, and I don't know, they called him down, but I don't know how Dylan had that ball so quickly, but he
Interesting
did.
play.
Yeah, it was.
I think Dylan Becker's kind of hobbling off the field.
And so Tanner Rubio check in for him, number 49, just a sophomore.
So it brings up 2nd down.
2nd and about 6 here. 6 or along 5 for the Tigers. This has been a methodical drive.
Scholl will fake the handoff to Hatchett. He's got a wide open lane, but
That's a
fortunately,
touchdown saving tackle there from Red Hedrick.
Hedrick was able to fight off the blocker. Still a gain of 10, or 9, correction, for a 1st down.
Right now, their offensive line is having their way with us up front. Big John McCready and Tanner Ruby, those guys in the middle gotta bow up here. Gotta get a stop. We need to force a turnover here as the clock continues to run on this drive. This is a clock eater for the Tigers.
Another quarterback option. And quick tackle by the Bomber defense.
Yeah, Bombers got to look to rip that football out as they got him stood up, and they got to go after that football. That was Brendelin in on the tackle. 28, it's going to be 2nd and 10 here.
Their kicker's 7 and 8 from field goal range on the year, and his long on the season's about 36. So we're getting close to that area. So
this would test him into this win, but they got another down here, two more downs here to gain some yardage, but they're going to put Scholl. I'll be very surprised. I mean, you might see Hatchett here on a little bit of a jet sweep, but they're going to throw the ball.
They are going to throw it into the end zone as well, and that ball's up for grabs. I think Jude Gibson may have came up with that interception.
I believe he did.
I
believe he did. That is an interception. I believe Jude Gibson with the interception, and I believe it's going to be a penalty on Reed. I think that Gibson came down with it, but I'm not sure. The officials waved their hands in the air for touchback. I believe that was a touchback signal. Was it incomplete or a touchback? I believe it was a touchback signal. His hands were above his head. And then there was a penalty marker, and it looked like it could have been on Reed. So we're going to have maybe an interception and a 15-yard penalty. We'll see what comes about it here from the officials. The Bomber offense is taking the field.
So the Bombers will take over. So an unsportsmanlike call, though, against the Bombers.
So he's going to offsetting. It's going to be offset, so it'll be 1st and 10 Bombers from the 20.
So both Schweiger and Gibson get the unsportsmanlike call.
Was that Schweiger? Or was that Schweigert over there?
I think that was number 1.
I think it was Reed.
Was it 11?
I think it was Corbin Reed over there. So regardless, Bomber football, 8:11 to go with the wind here, down 21-10. Got to make something happen. Sean Horst at the bottom of the screen. PK Miller and Jude Gibson up top with a single setback and Reed. Waka's in at tight end here, kind of in that slot, wingback position.
Gibson in motion. Over to the right side, they'll hand it to him, and he's met quickly by the Tiger defensive line.
Lincoln Miller did not get his head on the right side, and he got blown up right there, and Lincoln wishes he had that one back. Ethan Ash with the play there, and that's a 2-yard, 3-yard loss on 1st down. Bombers down 11, 7:45 to go.
You got to start thinking about taking shots down the field.
Yeah, we got to make something happen here. 2 backs as Gibson's back there, and it looks like Hedrick in the backfield.
Pitch play over to Gibson. He'll run the left side this time. Spins forward, able to break a couple tackles, still fighting, and will gain about 4 yards. So bring up 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8 here. So now we're getting there borderline 4-down territory, even in our own position, or our own. That's Engelman on the tackle there, but not position, folks. But we're in 4-down territory, even on our end of the field. So 11
7 minutes to go.
Yep, under 7 to go now. Confusion up front for the Tigers.
Play action, Gatchel looking to throw. Will take a shot to PK Miller, and he just trips and the ball was a little short. Yep. Gatchel took a hit on the throw, and that ball falls incomplete.
Now it's 3rd and about 8. It looks like it is going to be 4-down territory here for the Bombers.
This play could potentially decide the game if the Bombers do not convert on this 4th down. 6:45 left in the 4th. They're down 11, 21 the 10-year score here. ADM looking to put the final nail in the coffin. Gatchel looking to throw, fires it. Ball is tipped through the fingertips of Jude Gibson, and it will go incomplete.
Just throwing behind Jude there. He just missed him, threw it behind him. Had him open, threw it behind him, and Jude couldn't handle it. So now the Tigers will take over on downs with 6:39 to go. Mason had him, but it was behind him just a tick. So now the defense is going to have to turn him over once again.
6:39 left now. Again, Tigers are still up 11. They're in the position again to put more points up. Bombers were able to force a turnover last possession, offsetting unsportsmanlike calls after that pick from Jude Gibson in the end zone.
Going to see a heavy dose of Hudson Scholl. We've seen it all night, but I think you're going to get overloaded here with it.
He's gotten really close to breaking free a couple of times in the last couple of possessions. This time he'll hand it off.
It's Harvey. That's Waka on the tackle. Jackson Waka just tracks him down from behind, so it'll be about a 4-yard loss on that one. Another TFL for Waka.
Brings up 2nd down. Huge game for both teams in terms of playoff position. You want to get that high seed, or I guess low seed, so you can host a playoff game. And at the same time, Bombers are just trying to look to get out of that wild card position, but right now it's not looking too good as they're down 11. Scholl will take the direct snap, will run, looking to spin out of something, but he was brought down quickly by McCready.
Yeah, McCready was in on that one. It looked like that was Walker was in on that tackle, so was Hedrick. So that'll be 3rd and about 13 here, so we're on the edge of field goal kicker territory here for the Tigers, but the clock continues to run, and if you're Ballard, you might want to start to think about using a timeout here. Maybe if you get a stop here on the 4th down, you may want to use a timeout just to give yourselves a chance on the offensive side.
3rd and 12. Scholl will fake the pass, runs up the middle, looking to break a couple tackles, keeps fighting his way forward, and it looks like he got the 1st down.
Yes, he did. That's just a good, hard run, and it's 3rd and about 13, and he gets that 1st down, and that might be that nail in the coffin that you talked about earlier, Brock.
Clocks will start to roll here as we get close to the 5-minute mark. Bombers down 11. At this point, if I'm the Tigers, anybody but Scholl touching the ball is probably not an option because he's been running the ball really well all game, but more specifically these past few drives in the 4th quarter.
This Tiger team, now the clock's running down. 2, 1. They just got it off, and there's Scholl again.
He'll run to the left side, has a man to beat, and he will get into the end zone for a Tiger touchdown.
Yep. That'll make it 27-10 with the extra point impending. So Tigers looking to go up 28-10 here on the Bombers. This Tiger team they're pretty good, Brock. They're pretty good. We got any updates on any scores? I know we had some upsets brewing earlier in the evening with Indianola leading North Polk and Winterset over Lewis Central. I don't know where they're at now.
North Polk had a major comeback, up 22-21 against Indianola.
North Polk guys, they're the kind of the cardiac kids. They had a big one in the first week, and Lewis Central's hanging around against Winterset as it's a 3-point game, 24-21. Winterset leads that one with still in the 3rd quarter, the latest update that we've seen. So,
and if you're honestly a Bomber fan, you're kind of hoping Lewis Central pulls that one out.
Yeah, you are. You don't need Winterset sneaking in there and ruining some plans. So Bombers going to have to try to get KOR here, kickoff return for a touchdown. Try to get points fast and furious, but 18 down with 4:33 against this ADM team is a long hill to climb.
Gilbert and Bondurant, they're playing each other today. Bondurant 1-5 on the year, 21-14 against the undefeated Gilbert Tigers.
Yeah, with about a minute to play in the third there, so that's that Bondurant for our team that had North Polk on the ropes in the first game of the season.
Their record does not reflect how good that team actually is.
That's true. North Polk came back from 21 down in the second half, and that one to win. That one's going to trickle into the end zone as Tucker can't get quite to it.
So the offense will come back out, down to 18. You just need to do something here at this point. Don't need to play it safe. 4:33 left in the fourth quarter. Kind of got to figure out your quick plays that you can get quick scores.
Yeah, you got to go fast. I mean, you got to go all NASCAR as fast as you can go. This is no huddle, and you're just hammer down now, man. And this ADM team's just going to play with 3 down linemen, almost kind of play that prevent, but nothing behind them, nothing too crazy.
Gatchel on the keeper, runs to the left side, and he is brought down around the 31-yard line. Clock rolling.
Got to have a sense of urgency here. That was Engelman on the Reinerson on the tackle. He's got a couple of interceptions tonight. Reinerson does. He's got a mitt full of tackles as well for the Tigers.
Second down. We're officially at the 4-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Gatchel fires it. Complete. First down for the Bombers.
Nicky Schonhorst with a good play there. And that's
we have an injury.
Looks like it might be Jude Gibson down there. I don't know if Jude took a shot or what happened, but
he's up.
He is up. I don't know. I didn't see what happened there. That was about at the 3:48 mark, so that'll be one to maybe go back and check out. But Jude was kind of down. It looked like he got hit, but there was nobody around him. Bombers in the huddle here. I mean, we've got to get in and out of the huddle. We've got to play faster right now. If you're the Bombers, the sense of urgency has to be there. We've got to be quicker, faster.
Gatchel fires it, caught by Sidness. Goes down quickly, inbounds, and not a first down.
Get the ball to the official, get it set. That was Talon Harvey on the tackle, 33 there for the Tigers.
3:10 left.
A little bit of hurry up here for the Bombers.
And the ball
is incomplete.
Looking for Schonhorst. Gatchel was trying to thread the needle on that one. So brings up third down.
Boosters and supporters, we encourage you to support these businesses. Get back Ballard Bomber Athletics. We appreciate your support. They are screaming in the scoreboard.
Quick pass over to Miller, goes out of bounds, first down.
It's the first catch of the evening for PK Miller. I think the first catch he's had in a couple weeks.
Bombers go quickly.
Under 3 minutes to go here.
Gatchel's looking to throw it deep. Will fire it to Miller. Overthrew him just a little. It'll be incomplete.
2nd and 10 here. Took a shot. Bombers got the clock stopped, so.
Second down and 10. Gatchel fires a quick pass to Miller, able to break the first tackle and then met quickly by number 13. That's Gitterman or
Gerlman, yeah. Bombers go quick as it's 3rd and 5.
Clock again rolling as we get closer to the 2-minute mark. Gatchel, quick pass to Schoen, underthrew it. I think Schoen caught it, lost the helmet at the same time.
That's an unbelievable catch there from Dylan Schoen. And Schoen will have to come out of the game if he lost his helmet, but it's first down. But excellent effort by Dylan Schoen there to hold on to that one. That kid plays hard, man. I'll tell you, Dylan Schoen, you never have to question his effort. He plays hard in every sport that he plays, the same way on the baseball field, on the track, and on the basketball court. Effort's never in question for Dylan.
Gatchel is wrapped up around the face mask, nothing thrown there, and finally sacked around the 50-yard line.
And that was quite a few. That was Devin Gelhar. Gelhar and Sutton in on that one. Now to bring up 3rd and about 17 to 18, about 17 yards here, 2nd and 17, excuse me, as the clock runs. 1:37. Bombers with all 3 timeouts left. Chose not to use one there.
Short pass to Miller. He is wrapped up, brought down for a short game, brings up 3rd and very long.
Clock will continue to run, and the Bombers won't call a timeout here. So seems like to me we've almost kind of thrown in the towel here a little bit, Brock, as we're just kind of timeout call, and 3rd and about 16.
Gatchel sees the pressure coming, fires a quick one, and it goes through the hands of Eric Sidness.
Sidness was right there. Good job by Mason stepping up in the pocket.
4th down, 59 seconds left. Bombers down 18. Bombers on the road next week, Des Moines North at MediaCom Field, I think.
And that's on a Thursday night down there, yep, on MediaCom Field. We won't have that one. That's on the road.
Not.
Yeah, and I'll be driving back from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I actually have another job, Brock. No.
Oh, this isn't a full-time
No,
game?
no,
okay.
no, Bear. I appreciate that, though. I do. I really do. Sidness is almost offsides. As he looked at it, as Gatchel's going to sling that one right to Sidness to no avail.
And that will be incomplete. And we're about a couple knees down away from this game going final in favor of ADM.
Yep.
They're going to improve to 6-1 on the year. Bomber team is going to fall to 3-4. So the Bombers again on the road next week at Des Moines North at MediaCom Field. Information on the broadcast side of things, we are still in the works of figuring that out. We will not be providing the game. We're hoping that someone at MediaCom Field or Des Moines North is providing that stream. Yeah. Obviously, you can find all the streaming, ticketing, all the price information on our Facebook and Instagram feeds the day of games for every sport that we cover.
Yeah, and that's something you handle. So you'll still be working kind of behind the scenes on that stuff, Brock, as far as doing the marketing and as far as all that stuff goes with how that goes. And that might constitute his walk, and maybe gets another tackle for loss there, as I think Jackson tackled him. So if you're going to pad the stats, you might as well if you're Jackson as Schultz takes a knee there. But, yeah, this is just not the outcome that the Bombers wanted or the fans here tonight. And I thought, we would kind of come out with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder after last week. But this ADM team is as advertised. They're 6-1 for a reason. They're well coached. They're well schooled. They play good fundamental football, and they don't make a ton of mistakes. But this is probably going to be our last one up here together, Brock. And again, I mentioned it in the first quarter, but what you've done for the network, and you started it in kind of where it's evolved to now. And I've just gotten in on the tail end of it here. We've been about a year and a half, and Danny said, hey, would you be willing to do this with basketball? And and then we did the first one, and we kind of went together like peanut butter and jelly there right away. And I knew once I could get you chuckling a little bit, and then you figured out that I kind of knew what I was talking about on some things. But, Brock, in all sincerity, and we like to have a good time up here, and we're tongue-in-cheek, and we joke a lot, but what you've done for the network, how you've done it and how you've grown it and your passion for it is second to none. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And we hope you're always welcome back up here on the headset. And if you find the time and you say, hey, I'm around, we'll be, I don't know if we're going to have open interviews for somebody, come up here with me, whoever can tolerate me. But you've been nothing short of awesome in this.
I appreciate it.
In this entire thing. And I've only known you for a year and a half, but I feel like I've known you my whole life. And we give each other a little bit of grief, but I kind of feel like your older brother. Like I said, I've seen you grow not in this position, but in life as well. And you've got really big things coming for you. And I couldn't be more proud to be sharing the broadcast booth with you. And it's been absolutely 100% my pleasure to be here with you and to do this. And without you, literally without you, this wouldn't be possible. And what we're doing, the stuff we have, the sponsorships that we've done, you've been instrumental in all of it. And you won't find a bigger Bomber fan. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Brownie. Thanks, Dom. Again, and not to get sentimental on you, but I feel like this is worth it because you deserve it, man. And I wish we could have sent you out with the win tonight.
It's no big deal.
But again, well, it is a big deal because now we're going to have to fight tooth and nail. And I know that you wanted as much as those guys on the field. But, Brock, this is a tribute to you. And, man, best of luck in this new job. And I'm sure you're going to be great at it. And I'm sure it's maybe a stepping stone for you. But you're behind-the-scenes stuff. You're still doing stuff, I think, with Iowa State right on game day kind of side of things a little bit. And ESPN Plus, you did something last night for them, a little soccer game. So you're doing things you love. And they always say, you know, if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Amen.
And I think you've found that passion. You've created something at Iowa State that was never there before. So that's another feather in your hat, man. But it has been, again, nothing but a pleasure for me to share these headsets with you, and anything you've got here before you kind of sign off for us.
I mean, if you would have told me, oh gosh, how old was I? 17-year-old Brock Bierman, junior year of high school, that one day that he was going to go buy a GoPro and create a promo video for a homecoming football game, and that was going to turn into streaming stuff on an iPad, to now we have graphics, to now we have spotters, producers, shows, sponsorships, all this stuff. If you would have told 17-year-old Brock that he would have done something like that, I would have told you were crazy. But again, a lot of it goes back to the community, though. Without their support, I wouldn't have been able to do a lot of the things I've been able to do. The amount of times I've been on the court for state tournament time for basketball, the behind-the-scenes opportunities I've been able to do with football, basketball, other sports as well. It's just, it's just, very special. This place is always special to me. It's going to be hard to see the first basketball game because, I love basketball more than any other sport. Yep. And I know whoever is up here with you, you guys are going to do great, but it's going to be hard the first game for sure, knowing that I'm not up there. But I'll still be around doing some behind the scenes with our social media stuff and everything. But again, to everybody that's still listening, thank you for all the support. Thank you for really the support since day one. Thank you to the coaches and the people that have truly supported us through and through, good times and bad. Without you guys, I wouldn't have been able to grow this small little thing that I did as a fun way to get out of doing other schoolwork, I guess. Yeah. Don't tell my high school teachers that I used to have. That's one of the big reasons why I did this. But without you guys' support, I wouldn't be here today. A lot of the things I've been able to do at Iowa State are because of the Ballard Network. I've been told by numerous people that have employed me that what I've been able to build and the community support is something that they don't normally see from people at my age. So I tell them, though, but without living in the Ballard area, I wouldn't have been able to grow something to as big as it is today. So, again, I want to thank everybody that tunes in to every game, no matter what, win or loss, supports Ballard as a whole. And, I want to thank Tim and Dan for basically helping me out. Dan, especially being the former Booster Club president throughout the COVID era, helped me out a bunch for sure. And so without your guys' support, and Matt and Marianne at the flight, because they gave the Ballard Network even a bigger jump that I wouldn't have expected as well. And so without your guys' support, I wouldn't be here today, and the network wouldn't be here today. So yeah, thank you everybody to the bottom of my heart.
You betcha. Well,
so
yeah, it wasn't how we wanted it to end tonight.
Yep.
It was the Bombers fall 28-10, but Brock, take us away for the last time.
28-10, the final score. ADM improves to 6-1 on the year. Bombers fall to 3-4. They're back on the road next week at Des Moines North at MediaCom Field. We'll provide all of the ticket and video stream information at some point on our social media pages on Facebook and Instagram. For Dan Ingsler and Tim Davis, for the last time, I'm Brock Bierman signing off here from Rich Strauss Field. Go Bombers.